Alright guys, HyDra back again today. Hope you're doing well and enjoying your day so far. Well. Two teams remain going into the championship Sunday. Toronto Ultra will go in as favourites to win this year's World Championship. There's so many other storylines, chiefly among them OpTic Texas out top 6 at the first time of asking today, and the manner in which they went out to the tournament raises questions not just about one change, but maybe even if more are required to somehow turn this team around in the future. Very much enjoyed to hear your thoughts in the comments. Hit the like button if you enjoy. Subscribe if you're new as always. We've got so much to get into. Firstly, HyDra MVP of the season officially crowned. This is to me chiefly deserved. The guy was unbelievable, especially for his role. Really was the, I mean look, there were other players, Scrappy, aBeZy, they were in the conversation here. Other players that were definitely MVP caliber players, what they were doing for their teams, but HyDra was definitely one of them. Won 2 events, was the MVP at the most recent one. That I think secured it. And they did the votings here, and I know that Daniel Sai said about that they've got coaches, they've got some media and talent that do this. There's 25 people that voted because HyDra got 13 first place votes, 6 seconds. Some people are voting HyDra 4th or 5th, which I simply don't understand, but fair enough, this totals 25. But yet for the other players, it totals less than 25, so I'm not exactly sure how that works out unless they've been placed even further down than this. But whatever, that's how it goes. I don't exactly know who votes in this, to be honest, because like I'm certainly not part of the media people that vote in it. I don't think Jacob Hale or the rotation guys are either, and Crone certainly isn't, I believe. So I don't know who's coming up with these votings, but whatever. I think they got it right in the end, in fairness, with HyDra being the MVP. Let's dive into the first series of the day then. Surge OpTic. You look at this map set, right, that comes in. Mikado Hardpoint, Fortress Search, Hotel Control, Fortress Hardpoint, Mikado Search. That's a great map set for OpTic. And yes, Surge are happy with this. Obviously, they played it for a reason. But if you're OpTic looking at this map set of 5, you've got a lot of their great maps in it. You've got to think this is a dub. But I feel like in parts the universe was just conspiring against them because they won game 1. It was an impressive victory, 250 to 163. This was what OpTic sometimes do and the great teams do, where it's a tie game and then the final rotation, they just pull ahead. And this 250 to 163 scoreline is worth noting when we get to map 4, and then this screenshot comes up on screen from the CDL. This is a crazy stat. When OpTic go up 1-0 in a series, with Ghosty, 20 series wins, 0 series losses. That's insane. I mean, they've never lost a series with Ghosty when they win map 1. And when they lose, they're 2-9. So you see this and you're thinking like, oh well, here we go, right? The jinx is in. The first time I've actually seen this stat since Ghosty's joined the team, despite the fact that they've been undefeated when they win map 1, it seems, for a long time now. As soon as it gets mentioned, here we go, right? And I feel like it was almost destined to happen, was it not, when this occurred? So OpTic go down at the search and destroying. Look, it happens, right? You do lose searches to Surge, but losing 2 searches to Surge, bit of a tongue twister, is pretty much criminal behavior. And that's what happens as the series progresses. They go to Hotel and they do pretty well here, right? They get the job done. It was actually very hectic towards the end of this one, but eventually they get over the line. There was, however, some stair glitching activity. You can actually see right here another OpTic tweet. So we've got a Ghosty gets this 1 kill and then he lays down on the stairs, which is, you know, as blatant as you like. Simp runs into this gunfight. Ghosty can barely be seen here. I don't exactly know why Ghosty was abusing this so much. I don't know if he had a vendetta against Surge or whether he just thought, you know what, it's champs, I'm going to do what it takes. And in fairness, Ghosty was by far OpTic's best player this tournament. It's got to be said, Shotzzy, Dashy, Huke are veterans in some respect at this point. Huke's been around since like 2015. He's been around ages. Dashy's a veteran in his own right. Okay, Shotzy's still relatively new, but for those 3 players to be outshone by a rookie is, I mean, it's impressive for Ghosty, absolutely, and he's secured his spot in the league next year, hopefully on this team, I think. But in some sense, it's pretty embarrassing for the other guys. But whatever, Ghosty was at the stair glitching thing again, and it was pretty funny, actually, because after doing this, a couple of minutes later, Simp then did the same thing back to them, and he took down Dashy doing the same thing. So I think it might just be possible to kill Simp, but it's just like a head glitch on steroids. And Ghosty was abusing it. They win this game 3. They, however, go on to lose the game 4. And Ghosty made some plays, right? It wasn't just that was getting them the kills. Like, he was going absolutely huge. This 4-piece he gets here right on accuracy and then kills Mack was crucial for them winning this round. So they go on to win the map, but then they go down comfortably when it gets round to the hardpoint. And this is a Fortress hardpoint where, yes, Surge are good, but OpTic have been great lately, right? And you would think that they have a great chance to close out the series there. They don't. They go down actually quite emphatically, and Mack turns up big time. It's kind of funny with Mack, isn't it? Like, whenever his career, and same with accuracy, whenever their careers are on the line, they seem to really deliver, and Mack was really turning up in this series. I was super impressed. He forces a game 5, and this game 5 was, from OpTic's perspective, just shocking. Decent little start. It goes 2-2 relatively early on, but this was the round. I mean, they're down 5-2 at this point. They're probably going to lose it anyway, but actually, we won't look at this version. We will look at this version, because this is what shows the full story of it. So Sib is in effectively a 1v4. Okay, he gets 1 kill, and then Pred goes down to technically a 1v3, but it wasn't far for 1v4. He gets this kill on Huke, first of all. So Ghosty's planting the bomb, and if you're Ghosty at this point, you've got to think, look, I'm trying to get the bomb down here, lads. Just protect me a little bit, and please don't bottle this round away. Ghosty gets the bomb down. Dashy's top here, goes for the peek, and I know that he doesn't really mean to, like, fully overchow this, but, I mean, you just can't afford to let this happen. He goes down, doesn't get the kill, no trades, absolute classic, and the 1v3 for Sib immediately becomes a 1v1. Ghosty's left in a pretty difficult spot, and it's not his fault they lost this round. Ghosty eventually peeks out, Sib gets good timing on him, and that's enough for Sib to get the kill and eventually close out a 1v3 ace to bottle them out of the tournament. I mean, if anything sums it up, and look at the reaction here, right? I know that Hex wasn't happy that Pred was waving goodbye, but you can't blame him in this moment. The entire team's waving goodbye, especially in the manner it happened. Then Pred drops this one, basically just putting them to sleep. So, man, that was spicy, and yeah, just tragic for OpTic. They just invent new ways to lose, you know? It's like Ferrari's Formula 1 team. Every weekend, you're like, how are they going to bottle it this time? And they'll come up with a new way. They managed to find a new way yesterday against the subliners on that final rotation on HyDra, and they find a new way here. They probably lose this anyway, but losing 2 searches to Surge anyway, this is the bottom seeded team. And yes, Surge coming into the tourney day with the team that I thought, you know what, if there is any of the bottom 3 teams that could make a run, Surge were that team, just because we know what they've done before. We know the potential they've got. So I always thought it was possible they do something, but it still should not have happened, right? Especially from the OpTic perspective. And that actually means they eliminated them last year as well. They join Aches and Priester as the only players ever to eliminate OpTic back-to-back years. These were the numbers, and Ghosty honestly got pretty hard costed, I would say, this tourney. Like, he was playing it lights out, but nobody else really turned up. And I will say that, you know, Dashy and Shotzzy don't catch a lot of criticism, but I think some is certainly deserved after the way this tournament went. And honestly, the way they went out of the tournament, I wonder if there are now questions, because I think everyone is in reasonable agreement that Huke is likely to not be on that squad next season. But is a one-man change enough after what we've just witnessed? This ability to throw away life advantages like there's no tomorrow is seemingly integral to that team. And I don't know if they're going to need a full squad wipe. I mean, Shotzi's not going anywhere, but it does make me wonder about whether, after dropping Dashy a couple of times in the last couple of years, whether he's actually still going to be there. I mean, it's early days. Rostermania is a long time ahead, and Dashy is incredible on his day, but I just think that there's been too many situations like this that have occurred now for it to be a coincidence. We'll see what OpTic decide to do. So long off season, there's many things that can happen here. Shotzzy kind of says goodbye, and even Ghosty says, thanks to the Green Wall for the support, the love was felt. Lots of memories, lessons to be had, which almost implies that he's not expecting to be there next season. I don't know what they're going to think. I personally would keep him around. I don't think there's a good upgrade from Ghosty right now, but I think this is the last we see of this roster. The question to me is, will we see 2 of these players next year on this roster? Will we see 3? Will we even see 1? I don't know what's going to happen, but this could get crazy, because the manner in which they went out to Surge the bottom seeds, going top 6, is yeah, devastating for the Green Wall, but fundamentally not a massive surprise. I had them coming top 6 of this tournament, and I think a lot of people saw something like this coming, to be honest. Let's dive in then, because we've got 3 other series I'm going to discuss in this video. The first one was FaZe versus Boston. This spawn, by the way, okay, I don't know what's happening here. I'm pretty sure, because the hill was white and there was all the other spawns were blocked, this is what Infinity Ward and Seagot decided to do, but that was absolutely mind-blowing stuff. Cellium, man, this guy dropped a 1.7 against Boston and then followed it up in the next series they played as well. Like, a champs, he always comes different. It's actually insane. This, though, should have been, maybe not, shouldn't have, well, it should have been a win for FaZe. Then it should have been a win for Boston. They bring this back all the way Boston to such a close, I mean, it looked like they were going to win this. FaZe, it looked like a Boston bottled it. I thought it was going to go game 5. Another FaZe defeat in control here actually to Boston. But Snoopy, he doesn't get in the hill. He jumps up on this wall. Snoopy, by the way, this guy is a solid player. And to be honest, he's more than solid, right? This guy's disgusting. And the fact that he's only had a 10-day deal means that more than likely he's going to be a complete free agent going into the offseason, which means other teams, not just Boston, can give him a go. But in the end, FaZe get back in. Boston, bit more experience, bit more composure. They probably win this one, but FaZe just about have enough. And yeah, has Snoopy earned his spot? I was very impressed by him. To come into the World Championship, play 3 matches, and play like that. Hyper impressive, but Boston go down top 6 in the ends. Cell drops a 1.7. I mean, the slaying finally for Boston wasn't there. They got completely crushed in most of the respawns in this series, in fairness, which is why you see that. Then, though, we have the winners' finals. The first 3-0 of the tourney comes in the winners' finals, can you believe? And to be honest, the way this series started, you could kind of feel it coming, right? Toronto have played New York a lot of times lately and have been, it's a bit up and down their results against them, but it really felt like they're clicking now. And it's not just Scrappy, right? It's the rest of the guys as well. CleanX had a mega series. Insight did very well, but also Hicksy, right? Deserves so much credit. This guy, like, when he drops a 0.9, they are very difficult to beat. If he drops a 0.6, they are beatable, but still not that easy. It can be done to actually win a series with Hicksy dropping a 0.6, as we saw against Thieves first round of the tourney. And if Hicksy drops a 1.1, it's over. You're dusted. Absolutely no chance. His kills are just straight up way too impactful. And a clean sweep against the New York subliners. This was just, I mean, Scrappy was going wild on the stage for good reason. He basically said that without HyDra, if you shut him down, their team isn't even that good, which on paper might even be a valid observation. It's quite the statement to make going into a Champs Grand Finals, but man, this is awesome story for European COD as well. Having 3 European players in the finals. Never has a European player won the World Championship, and you can say all you want, the Scrappy's carrying these guys, but fundamentally it's a team effort. It's not just a one-man show, but he has been absolutely integral to these guys having the success that they have had. And for him to come into the league talking all this trash and to back it up the way he has, like, this guy is going to be carrying COD from a personality perspective for a long time to come. He's exactly the type of guy we needed just when we needed him, right? It's incredible how things work, isn't it? Like, the perfect character to take the CDL onwards for the next few years arrives just when the old heads are stepping away. Just fantastic stuff. And that actually breaks the record for the most series wins in a rookie season in CDL history. This was held by his teammate Insight with 29 wins in Car War. Scrappy is now 30 in 17, so breaks that record and will have a chance to go one further. And also Insight and CleanX now join Bance as the only Europeans to play in multiple Champs Grand Finals, but no one from Europe has ever won it. And they've got a great chance and will go in as favourites tomorrow on their performances so far. So this was a demolition job. But who will they play in the finals? It's not going to be the Seattle Surge. They go down to FaZe. This was a crazy series again. The respawns here, unbelievable. And I mean, this 3-piece from aBeZy as well, just to close this one out. It was close. Surge were competitive. FaZe just about had too much. They do, however, win the Search and Destroy. And this was to me kind of surprising because it's an Embassy Surge where FaZe have been so good. But Surge, I think, went up 3-0 here. They then got first blooded round 11 and still it goes their way. Accuracy gets a great ace here actually to close it out. And in the end, FaZe had a bit too much. It was Cellium in the control. And this moment, I don't exactly understand how the trophy didn't stop this. Maybe Cellium had a special tactic in play to where he would land it to make sure they got these kills. But I thought the Surge were going to win this offense. It looked like they were going to. Slasher gets this kill, but he's so far away. There's like 3 stacking the points here. Sib is up on this head glitch. Cellium calls in his streak because he's always got a streak, this guy. And it takes out accuracy, or it takes out Mack and Sib. Despite there being trophies down, I think he just managed to smash it into the wall there, possibly deliberately, so it would evade the reach of the trophy and kill those guys. Whatever happens, it was a clutch from FaZe. They get in, they get all the kills just in the nick of time. They close out that round, they close out the map, and then they close out the game 4 as well. This is a pretty dominant hard point in terms of the slaying, and they got there just in the end. So FaZe are undeniable, right? They've been top 3 every tournament this season. They're still looking very good. Right now, as I record this, they're playing the subliners. They're down by a few points, map 1. Who knows what's going to happen there? But FaZe get OpTic's trade in some respects, taking out the Seattle Surge. And yeah, Pred goes home, at least for now, right? I'm sure he's going to be on a very different roster next season is the likely possibility. And this is how it ended up. So Cellium with a back-to-back 1.7. Like, you don't see that every day, but in some respects, maybe you do, because Cellium at Champs always done this type of stuff. It's actually absurd, but the entire team played well here, FaZe. And yeah, top 3 again. I mean, you just can't keep these guys down. As of recording, I don't know if they're going to make the grand final. finals, I wanted to make sure I could get this video up as quickly as possible and then get to bed because it's been a long day and it's going to be another very interesting day tomorrow. So who knows who Toronto are playing as of recording. You guys will know full well by the time this video goes live. But it does mean that Simp and aBeZy become the first ever players in history to place third or better at 5 consecutive World Championships. Slasher has now placed at least third at 5 different championships in his career as well. And just to close out the video with this from Pred, GG's FaZe, it's been a battle, been a long 2 years with my guys, and I wouldn't change a thing. And this most certainly implies, if nothing ever else would, that, you know, that's it for the Seattle Surge team, and greener pastures potentially on the horizon for Pred. Very much enjoyed your thoughts in the comments. Hit the like button if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new, take care, and I will see you next time.